I'm Robin from CookingMexicanRecipes.com, and today I am making a healthy recipe and one of my very favorites. What I'm going to be making is I'm going to steam some green beans, fresh ones here. I have about a pound, and I'm going to saute some onions. I'm going to caramelize them and bring out some really wonderful flavors, and I'm going to add to it some fresh garlic. And so then I'm going to combine the two, and I'm going to mix it all up really well, and then I'm going to top it off with some sliced almonds, and it's going to be wonderful. We'll probably add a little bit of salt and pepper as well. So the first thing we're going to do to start off our recipe is to caramelize our onions, because this is going to take us about 20 minutes to do. And while that's caramelizing and slowly cooking, then we'll tend to our green beans, and we'll get to that later. So first I've got my pan on low, and I'm going to add some oil, probably about 2 to 3 teaspoons. We'll start with that. And I used olive oil, and I do want to mention that my onions are very finely chopped, so they're really minced, they're really little, and that's what we want for this recipe. So I'm going to add that to the pan, start stirring it up a little bit. I want to get this cooking and cook down. Now this is going to cook down to probably half of what you see here right now. And it's going to turn a nice golden brown, and it's going to bring out a lot of delicious flavor. But we have to be patient with it. It'll take a little bit of time. Now I've started out on a medium high, and I'm going to bring it down probably to a medium low. And this is equivalent to about one good sized onion that I have chopped up here. So we want to watch it close. I'm going to turn it over occasionally, and then I'm going to spread it back out. I just don't want it to burn too much. I just want it to cook slowly, and it will turn golden brown over about 20 minutes. So while our onions are over there cooking, now we can tend to our green beans. Now I have about a pound of green beans here for that one onion that I have in the pan. And the first thing you want to do is rinse them off. Give them a nice rinse under the sink. And then we're going to trim off the ends. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to trim off the ends. You can do it with your hand if you like, or you can do it with a knife. So if you just snap it off like that, it's probably just as easy as using a knife, because you have to do each one individually anyway. And sometimes if you see a brown spot on your bean, just cut it off or just snap it off. So while you're trimming your beans, you want to take a break every once in a while and have a look at your onions that are cooking over there so that they don't burn. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So as you can see here, these are starting to cook down a little bit, and so I just want to keep turning them over. And if it tends to get a little dry, you can add a little bit more olive oil. It looks okay right now, but you can see they really haven't started to turn yet. They're just, all the moisture's cooking out, and it is cooking down. So we're going to continue with this. And once it starts to brown just a teeny bit, then I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit more. So now we're going to steam our green beans. And you're going to need a steamer sort of like this, something along this line. So you got a steamer on top, and you can put some water here in the bottoms. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little water to this, a couple inches. I'm going to put my steamer on top and get my green beans in the pan. We're going to steam these for anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to start this up. I'm going to put it on high heat to start until the water starts to boil. Then I'll bring it down a little bit so it's just simmering. So what I want to do here is, after about 4 minutes of steaming these beans, I'm going to check them with a fork and see how done they are, so I can get an idea of how long I'm going to cook them. And it depends on how you like it as well. I like my beans a little bit on the crispier side, but you might like yours a little more well done. So you just cook it to your liking. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes for the green beans. They've been steaming, so we're going to have a look at them and see where we're at with that. You can see the nice bright green color. And so basically you just take your fork and you just stick it. Now that was a little bit firm for me, so I'm going to let this go probably another 2 minutes. In the meantime, I want to look at the onions. So I've been babying these onions. I'll call it babying. What I've been doing is turning them over like this, and then spreading it back out so that I get a nice golden brown. I want you to notice how much these have already cooked down. This is probably at least half of what I started with. And I'm going to continue to go with this. I want it to cook down even more, and I want it to turn a little more golden brown. I haven't gotten the color yet that I'm looking for. And then after that, then we'll add our fresh garlic, and we're almost done. Our beans have been cooking a little longer than I thought originally, about 13 minutes, and they're nice and done now. So what I want to do, while I'm still waiting for my onions to cook up, I'm going to drain the water out of the beans and just leave it on the stove. So I'm just going to drain the water out of this and just set it back in and set it on the stove with no lid just to keep them warm. Now our onions are looking pretty good. Look how much they've cooked down. You see how they're getting a nice golden brown? And this is what's gonna be just about the right proportion for our green beans. So now I'm gonna add my garlic. I've got my fresh garlic here. Get that in there, and I'm gonna spread that around so it gets to the heat. And I'm gonna let this cook another, say, 3 minutes or so. And just keep turning it over. And you can smell the nice aroma from the garlic as it's cooking. It just comes right up. It just smells incredible. So our onion mixture looks like it's ready. I want you to have a look here and see how much it's cooked down. It's a nice golden brown. And now we're going to add our green beans to our mixture. We'll turn the heat off. And we're going to toss our green beans in. And I'm going to mix this up. So we're going to have to twirl it a little bit. What we want to do is get those onions everywhere. We want to coat these beans. And get those onions and garlic nicely distributed all the way around. I want to add a little bit of salt. And I'll add a little bit of pepper. I'm going to stir it one more time, give it a little toss, and then I'm going to top it off with my sliced almonds and give it a nice little crunch. Turn that around a little bit, and there we go. This is a delicious recipe. I hope you'll give it a try, maybe at Thanksgiving, and maybe substitute it for the traditional green bean casserole that we usually have. Be sure and stop by my website at cookingmexicanrecipes.com, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.